the Holy Creek Show. My name is Zulawab.
My name is Muhammad Khidir.
My name is Farid.
And Assalamualaikum to Masik people.
Waalaikumsalam. Kau bingai tu.
Lupa. Banyak configuration tadi.
Yeah.
Kau punya confident. Jadi aku tengok kau macam nak fuck aku, tapi aku macam okay.
Okay, selamat kembali ke podcast Holy Creek Show, the best podcast in the universe. And kita masih lagi bersama anda. Kita nak ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada korang yang masih lagi support kita.
Betul.
And kita pun nak mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Altura Spaces Private Limited.
Asal pula?
Kerana mereka telah sponsor podcast kita ni.
Betul.
And mereka ni adalah khidmat yang korang boleh carilah untuk mengubah suai rumah korang.
Mengubah subai. Kalau yang
Subai.
merubah suai rumah, Altura Spaces Private Limited. Kalau nak dorang, simple sikit.
Macam mana?
8714-5808.
Farid cakap sikit.
Apa? English
Nombor
ke
dia?
Melayu? 8714-8508.
Salah.
Confident tau.
5808. Terbalik. Dia memang mengelirukan sikit.
Betul.
Tapi nombor dia dah tertera lah dekat mana-mana yang korang boleh nampak lah dekat caption kita.
Correct.
Betul.
Dekat kita punya Instagram. Jadi korang pandai-pandai lah.
Yang paling tak keliru apa tau?
Apa?
Consultation dia free.
Asal macam gitu lah.
Sebab kita nak kasih orang chance untuk dorang bilang ID yang ada tertera dekat Altura Spaces ni. Jadi dorang boleh kira apa tau? Nak ubah suai dia punya rumah dengan dorang punya kesedapan sendiri. Bukan ID ke, bukan orang recommend.
Oh.
Kira diorang curate sendiri
Curate rumah diorang sendiri lah.
Betul.
Okay,
And boleh datang dekat dia punya studio.
Oh, studio dia, showroom dia lah.
Showroom, yes. Boleh tengok barang-barang studio pula. Maafkan saya.
Betul. Dia nampak macam studio lah.
Betul, diorang pun ada social media punya handle juga. alturaspaces.co. Itu kat IG.
Okay.
Dekat TikTok pun sama.
Oh, sama juga.
Okay. Dia macam suspend lah.
Jadi korang jangan malu-malu lah kalau nak dapatkan khidmat mengubah suai rumah anda, boleh pergi ke Altura Spaces. Tapi bersama kita pada hari ini kita ada guest. Guest kita ni orang yang orang kata dikenali jugalah dekat social media. Kadang-kadang kita nampak
Betul.
And beliau adalah seorang yang telah banyak orang kata berkecimpung dalam
Bidang.
Dia bukan bidang, dia competition dalam Melayu apa?
Bidang. Pertandingan bina badan. Pertandingan bina badan.
Ya,
Kira
jadi,
kalau macam international dia panggil IBBF.
Oh, IBBF.
Okay. Tapi bukan. Itu aku cakap
kau pandai-pandai lah. Bongok. Okay, by the way, kita tak nak buang waktu lagi. Kita ingin introduce Daniel Azman dalam studio kita pada hari ini.
Welcome my brother Daniel Azman.
Assalamualaikum semua.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, Daniel, maybe untuk orang yang belum kenal kau boleh introduce sikit diri kau.
Okay, assalamualaikum. Nama aku Daniel Azman. Okay, I am a full-time personal trainer.
Okay.
And I also a physique competitor.
Physique competitor.
Yeah, physique competitor.
Physique competitor maksud dia apa tu?
Macam tadi cakap, ahli bina badan, dia sama. Cuma kategori dia dengan kriteria lain.
Oh, I see. So, fizik, bila kita berbual pasal fizik ni, dia fokus on apa?
Okay, mostly dia akan fokus more on upper body. Yeah, pasal for men's physique, untuk siapa yang tak tahu, dia pakai board shorts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, dia pakai board shorts. So bila dia pakai board shorts, so mostly kaki tertutup lah. So mostly
tutup aurat lah sikit.
Tutup aurat lah. So kena pakai board short panjang lah.
Faham.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mostly the focus on upper body.
Okay.
So this is where kita nak kena dia have a macam V taper, thick chest, thick back, broad and wide shoulder.
Okay.
Then there's then another one as condition, which means kita kan nak kena lagi as shredded as possible lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
Wow, and kau dah berapa kali masuk dalam ni competition?
Okay, so first competition aku compete 2014.
Wow.
2014
9 years ago, 10 years ago. 11 years ago. 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Seoul.
So that's my first competition. Aku join as a junior. Then aku dah compete total of 16 competition and 4 international. Then the another 11 semua local.
Nice.
14
16 competition total.
16 kira dalam setahun berapa banyak tu kau punya compete?
Okay, if I can recall, 2014 aku compete 2 com.
Okay.
Then 2015 aku compete 3 com. Then 2016 aku compete 2 com. 17 aku compete 2 com. Then lepas tu 2018 2 com. Then lepas tu terus aku rest 2019. Sekali lepas tu COVID aku tak compete. Then get to know wife aku pasal yang last yang aku compete tu 2017, wife aku punya perut tengah besar.
Okay.
Aku punya first child lah.
Yeah.
Tapi then I give like, okay, this is the last shot. Tapi not really last lah. So 2018 bila baby dah keluar, dia ikut aku, kita compete kat Macau.
Oh, nice.
Which is on 2018 lah. Then after that I give him myself a rest, give myself off season, akan nak repeat balik lah 2020. Then sekali COVID. So bila COVID, then this is where I switch my priorities. Then get to know my wife pregnant, can COVID baby. Yeah, the second one. Yeah, so that's my. Then from there I focus like, okay lah, never mind, now focus on settle down, then focus on build up back on kita punya financial balik, because that time COVID I think everyone is affected. Especially also the fitness scene
Industry,
affected. Then time COVID that time aku buat Grab kan, pasal gym semua tutup.
Correct.
So badan dah ke laut lah.
Dah jadi boya laut lah.
So somehow it's like total of 5 years aku off season. Then honestly itu api and itu drive untuk compete dah tak ada lagi.
Dah tak ada?
Dah tak ada actually. Dia kan dah malas lah. Dia kan macam malas. Tapi somehow I mean like ramai orang cakap, Dan, actually there is a fire still in you.
Okay.
Cuma kau tinggal nak ignite je.
Just waiting for the spark lah.
Yeah. Then I'm like, okay. Then slowly terus aku macam, because dulu social media as usual lah. Bila tengah compete scene, always post about competition, badan and everything. Then bila dah this 5 years aku off, then aku focusing mostly my social media semua mostly ke arah ke family. Aku posting about my family, my kids, my wife and everything. Then of course along the way yang siapa yang follow aku throughout my fitness journey start to not to see my social media sangat lah, because then this is where lights attraction semua drop along the way, which is I don't care that point of time. Then tapi because kau tahu bila kau dah jadi bapa, kau macam
fokus kau dah inilah.
I do this everything for my kids lah. I just want him to, let him have the limelight along the way. Then aku macam like, okay. Then ada, aku train klien aku ni. So there's one client kata, Dan, this is something, this is totally not you. Because this client dengan aku dah lama tau.
Okay.
Kata, this is not you. You're totally a change man and everything, but you're still young. Kau belum lagi reach kau punya peak yet. So that time aku was like maybe 30 like that. Then I'm like, okay. Then aku kata, apa maksud kau? Habis later dia kata, actually why not kau just go another one more. Be active like how you used to be, influence and inspire a lot of people. Then I'm like, do you think so? Then I'm like, okay. Then wife aku pun also say the same thing. B, tak nak compete balik. Maybe it's time because anak dah besar. So my first dengan second dah besar. Dan kita pun dah ada helper. So everything alhamdulillah semua dah stable. So my bila kan dah post COVID after 3 years, then I'm like, okay, you know what? I give myself a comeback. Then aku lock in. So bila aku lock in, this is where the pressure. Kau imagine kau tak compete for 5 years. So back then, aku tak cakap dulu aku gila babi mana lah. Tapi back then, aku somehow always podium finish. Every competition aku compete, always podium finish.
Nice.
Wow.
Then, that point of time in the scene, like people like, okay, bila aku cakap aku nak make a comeback, then they like, wah, champion is back. Then is back. Then you know the pressure even higher.
Betul lah, betul.
Yeah, the higher. Then aku macam, and I still remember aku compete local com. Tu aku macam make a comeback dan aku register this local com. Then this local com pergi post gambar aku, kata Daniel
is back.
Oh, lagi pressure.
Then orang semua komen, Dan kau come back Wah, I can't wait man to see the the OG. Then yang budak-budak men's physique yang baru-baru, yang consider yang baru, yang tengah shine, tengah up sekarang, semua macam, and I heard a lot of them say I want to beat Daniel Azman.
Serious?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So on that, aku pressure gila.
Yeah.
Then aku thought like, okay, you know what? Aku lock in, and I thought I still got it. Aku give it a try. Then aku yang sponsor semua tolong aku. Macam give me a support and everything. Then aku macam, okay, I just give it a try. To compete, which is last 2 years aku make a comeback. So aku masih, that's the thing, aku masih ingatkan aku ni macam masih kat prime tau. So sekali that 1 year, last 2 year, which is this year, now is 2015. So 2023, aku cakap dengan wife aku, GB, this year kita compete Pakcom, kita naik Philippines, kita naik Malaysia, 2 kita buat local. Then by right kalau kau dah lama tak compete, kau dah macam kekok sikit, kita naik local dulu. Kasi warm up lah orang cakap kan. Tapi that point of time aku rasa macam, aku ingatkan aku masih ada tau. Kan macam, boleh lah. Pasal aku tengok, budak-budak ni semua macam, jujurnya berbual aku cakap, ni budak-budak
boleh
ni
makan lah.
Boleh makan lah. Boleh makan, aku rasa aku ada fight. So pasal then lepas tu terus first competition aku naik Malaysia. Sekali kena humble down lah. Aku tak ada placing lah. Ya, kan aku compete tu aku tak ada placing. Terus and that first competition macam like aku cakap, aku tengah confidence gila So I thought I have it and everything. Aku tengok badan aku dah siap, dah jadi and everything. So aku macam, okay, I have it. So this first competition, aku bawa family aku, kan wife aku, helper aku, dengan mak aku tau. Bawa untuk to KL just to see me compete. Then end up, and anak aku yang first pernah nampak aku champion. Dah pernah nampak aku menang. Tapi yang second ni tak pernah nampak aku compete. So aku kata, you know what, I will show you and I will bring you a gold medal. Pasal aku ingatkan aku kira macam confident. Sekali on my first show, aku disappoint them Yeah, pasal aku macam don't get any placing, not even top 5 bro.
Serious?
Macam what the? So tapi that aku punya kategori that point of time ada dalam 40 lebih orang gitu. So yang menang only top 5
Yalah.
And how you feel about it at the point of time?
Aku feel like shitty lah. Aku dah cakap dengan wife aku, actually aku macam dah tak nak compete dah. Tapi aku ada lagi 3 kom.
Yalah, fuck.
But after that, bila kau dah balik, kau tahu kau ada 3 kom apa?
Yes.
So what made you make the move to actually pergi matilah aku bikin
Wife aku lah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, wife aku cakap, okay, look, we have go through, because she dengan aku from day one. So dia dah pernah nampak semua aku punya competition from day one. And I believe not all partners get the chance to see their partner to compete from day one. Yang ada maybe along the way dah pernah compete, dan along the way baru kenal ke apa. So macam wife aku dah dengan aku dari day one, daripada aku tak pernah compete, jadi aku first compete sampai aku sekarang. So bila aku dah compete itu, tu wife aku cakap, it's okay to lose. We learn along the way that it's okay. So now, this comp already humble us down. So now just give your best. Don't give up. You got 3 more comp to Kalau second comp tak boleh, go for third comp. Third comp tak boleh, you go for fourth comp.
Nice.
Dia kata, then dia cakap, this is not the Daniel Azman that I know. I know you are a fighter, man. Because your mental is very strong. Kan macam, biar kalah tapi kan kau steady, masih go. Masih go. So aku kata, okay, aku come back. Dan kira masa aku tahu aku like got 1 month out to my Philippine show. So aku naik Philippine show. Tapi this Philippine show, I come in way better. Aku learn from my previous lesson. I come in way better. Tapi because Cantika cakap, because this is a IFBB Pro qualifier. So athlete, bila aku dah sampai sana, aku tengok, wah, ni athlete semua gila babi apa. This is Philippine another level. Aku tak cakap Singapore tak ada level, ada. Tapi it's like, okay,
the standard is higher.
The men's physique now, to compare way back my time, dah different. Sekarang dah terlalu ramai orang compete, and they really start to raise up the bar, higher and higher and higher. So aku dah 5 tahun dah macam off from this kind of competition. Sekali bila patah balik, aku macam
terkejut lah.
Mata terbeliak. Dia kata tak apa, kita fight je lah. Kalau menang-menang, kalau kalah-kalah. Then aku pergi, aku dapat get to second call out.
Baik.
On there is 2 category. So there is 2 category. So one of the category I get second call out, and another one category yang susah punya I get third call out.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, tapi yes, kalau orang cakap first kalau first call out usually kau the chances of top 7, top 5. So second call out should be like top 10. Tapi kalau pasal datang kategori aku ada 40 lebih ya. So aku macam I still may need to like top 20 plus and everything. Tapi pasal aku punya mindset, aku dah pernah at the top placing. I mean like dah selalu macam somehow podium finish. Untuk aku kalah-kalah. I mean like this is first call out, second call out, second call out, third call out, fourth call out ni semua kirakan doesn't mean me anything lah. It's just that Dan kau dah tak bagus lah. Aku punya mindset macam aku cakap macam gitu.
Kau dah set gitu lah.
Aku dah set gitu lah. Okay, kau kata tak apa. Terus aku kata aku learn lesson balik. Aku macam kata asal aku try to understand asal badan aku tak react properly. Because for the first competition aku prep myself. Because I thought that aku just repeat balik how I do way back. Way back. Tapi this time round, the procedure yang aku do badan lama aku dengan untuk sekarang dah it doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's the thing. That's the beautiful thing about body that it doesn't fit. I mean like kan kau punya satu cara untuk kau prep kau punya badan always changing along the way.
Yes.
This comp can be different. This comp can be different. Then along the way, this is where we learn along the way.
Correct.
So first comp aku dah yang Malaysia aku dah kalah. Terus aku macam second comp aku learn lesson. Then aku getting better. So aku kata set my mind, I'm coming better but I'm not good enough. So aku macam you know what, humble down, I come back to local comp. So bila aku come back to local comp, even more pressure bro. Although it's local comp, even more pressure because this is where everyone that know me see me.
Okay.
Be it those who like me or be it those
haters
who haters back then rasa macam kata
bingit lah dengan kau lah.
This is where tiba semua turn up, they just want to see. Kau nak tengok Daniel masih ada lagi tak? And that comp aku cry because aku dengan wife aku dah totally hancur because aku doing better after Philippines. Aku come back getting better and everything. So aku dah tahu sekali somehow I overdo it on certain things. Then my body overspill. Then overspill kan macam dekat stage aku macam sialah rabak sia. Then and the funny thing is this big mistake not supposed to be, tapi is happen in my home ground and local comp. And 2023 is literally a shitty year. Then wife aku cakap dengan aku, you know what, from now kalau you nak compete lagi for the next comp, hire a coach, get a proper coach to have a third eye to understand your body. I don't think so you can do it by yourself at all. Because you know what, because now the bar is already high. So you need to keep learn a new things because maybe your way your knowledge that you know back then is totally doesn't apply now.
Correct.
Then aku like you know what, aku finding a coach. So aku get a coach ni. Aku ada last comp to go for 2023. I say to myself, I give it a try this coach to see. But of course kalau kau ada just a short period, that time aku left with like 5 weeks out to that my last competition.
1 bulan lebih je.
1 bulan lebih je. So 5 weeks out. So aku ada coach. Tapi coach ni aku cakap you know what, aku tak expect macam a magic lah from you. Because 5 weeks apa dia boleh buat kan? Tapi dia took certain year and there, and I came in better. And that last comp aku win the overall champ.
Okay, wait. Before ni aku nak patah balik, aku nak tanya kau, what makes you want to take the coach when you already know that you have everything? Yes, untuk cari dia differ a bit here and there, but why you take another personal coach just to train, a proper bodybuilder? Aku tak faham ni part.
Okay, so basically untuk siapa yang tak tahu, kebanyakan even the Olympia, the Olympia women, which means all the pro, all of them they have a coach.
Correct.
Okay, kenapa ada coach? Because even I think even athlete, even the soccer player and everything, all the top level, they having a coach. The reason why, first of all, our focus is to compete, to diet, to train and everything. Kita dah diet, kita punya otak dah tak boleh fikir.
Ya,
Tak boleh fikir. So we need someone that think for us. We hire a coach, we need you to think for me, and I want you to be my third eye, and you make the decision for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ada orang boleh do it pasal dia dah faham badan dia, tapi still sometimes the coach punya macam, untuk aku maybe this is the right way of doing things, tapi maybe untuk engkau is different. So this is where we find it. Engkau explain aku kenapa kau buat gini, then bila aku tengok badan, actually works. Then along the way I learn along the way. Yeah. So aku pernah throughout this my competing career, aku pernah ada 2 coach. Satu coach aku hire from overseas, from US, whereby online coaching. So he's a pro coach lah.
Okay.
So aku hire dia, and bila aku bayar dia semua, because I want to learn more in depth, because I don't want to know just basic, I want to know more. When talking about more, this is where not only nutrition, not only mental health, not only workout, I want to know more about gear. Kenapa gini, kenapa gitu, okay, kenapa kita nak kena sebelum ambil barang-barang ni semua kita nak kena apa tu apa ni, nak kena check blood test and everything semua, and make sure kita punya health marker semua proper and everything semua. So I mean like, look, I know that using barang ni can be risky, but at the same time I love to compete, but how I want to, so I need a proper guardian, so that can someone that can guide me along the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so aku tak nak macam play with my health, especially now. Macam muda-muda dulu sembarang kan, tapi bila sekarang I'm a father, then I don't want anything happen to me in the future. So that's why I really now take care of my health seriously. So kalau aku nak compete, I ensure everything right, left, everything's all covered.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Tadi kau cakap 5 weeks macam tak cukup, right, for like the trainer to train kau. Normally like in between your comps, how long do you like the timeline kau need to like macam train for
To prepare.
to prepare for every competition?
Okay, so honestly kita, okay, for starting, kalau untuk to go for the first competition, so first of all kita nak kena assess kita yang percentage body fat tengah berapa. So kalau percentage body fat kita very high, I would say kalau my definition of high is, let's say above 20%, it take longer. Can be short, ada orang buat very short, tapi the second things you need to take note is orang tu punya mental health.
Okay.
Kalau kau crash everything, kadang-kadang it will affect the mental health.
Correct.
Ya, lagi nak bila dah tengah diet, habis tengah on barang, boleh je songsang.
Yeah, correct.
Dan kau boleh terik bila-bila tau.
Correct.
So that is one of the things. So usually on average, kalau for me, I will always give between 12 weeks to 16 weeks, which is like maybe 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
For okay, kan, to prep for the first competition. Then bila dah first competition tu kau dah shredded bah.
Yeah.
So this is where after that kau dah try just to cruise it, maintain, then kau compete
Condition
second
lah,
com,
condition.
second com, then lepas tu kan aku masuk third com.
Yeah.
Then yang third com tu aku gap 5 weeks. Okay, kan actually badan dah siap. Cuma aku just gap
touch up lah.
5 weeks because I need a rest. My body need a rest.
Yeah,
Tak boleh
correct.
back to back. Rabak je. Okay,
correct.
kalau kau deplete. Because after one com, kalau kau betul-betul peak properly, bila kau buat betul-betul, okay, macam kau dah compete, okay. Pasal bila kita kita nak kena deplete kita punya carbo,
Correct.
kita nak kena do water loading and everything.
I think the way that you wanna for us, kita runner dengan cyclist, there's a tapering period. Is it
Yes,
the same?
yes, correct.
Okay.
So macam kita nak kasi badan kita rest. Sometimes kita punya mental kuat tau. Kita punya mental kuat, aku boleh go back to back. Tapi sometimes our body that fail us.
Yes.
Macam hormon aku asal suddenly badan berair, padahal aku dah on point everything.
Correct.
Tapi the body hormone is our body hormone is like fighting back. So we need to like relax it a bit. So then the last competition, that's why I say I give my coach yang aku hire ni, give it a try. Aku nak tengok dia punya protokol macam mana. Because aku dah pernah compete banyak comp, so aku tahu aku punya cara protokol macam mana apa.
Yeah.
So kalau kau ajar aku benda yang aku dah tahu, aku tak nak tahu lah.
Yes, betul.
You get what I mean? So if you want, I want to hire a coach that someone that is can macam kasih aku a different perspective and it works.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's getting interesting because just now before we even start this first episode, we were talking that we don't want to talk about bodybuilding, but suddenly it become more and more interesting because why? Pasal apa tahu, Daniel? Because aku always believe in sports science.
Yes.
I always believe in sports science. I think without sports science availability right now, we won't see CBAM at its best.
Yes, correct.
Sama yang budak baru yang 23 tahun tu siapa? Yang YouTube.
Sam Sulek.
Sam Sulek. We won't see people that can grow that big because of sports science. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, with all the fact, with all the gears, with all whatever protein, whatever carbs, whatever ni, most important thing is how does your family manage all of this when you are in this competitive state?
Okay, this is very good question.
Yeah.
So competing is really dah macam pressure tau. Because how to say? Because bila kau dah tengah competition mode, kau dah start to not to socialize much.
Betul.
Bukan tak boleh, boleh. Kalau important can, tapi the reason why we try not to socialize much, kita try to avoid kita tercheat. Kita makan everything.
Correct.
At the end of the day, kita manusia juga.
Correct.
Yeah. So yes, memang orang cakap it's all about discipline apa ni semua. Kadang-kadang pun boleh juga. Kadang-kadang macam tak apa sikit je lah. Correct. So in order to avoid that, it's better for me to just not to socialize.
Anti-social lah.
Lock in.
Yeah. So tapi now when I with family, I need to to avoid that. It's very hard to compare bila aku tengah belum kahwin sehingga to compete. Aku tak nak pergi. Cakap mama orang tak nak pergi, tak nak keluar ni, tak nak tu. Okay je. Tapi sekarang I just go because at the end of the day I'm a family man.
Correct.
I'm a dad. So this is where I like, okay, I want to compete, tapi how can I compete without affect everyone that around me? Because yang nak compete aku
Yalah.
tak ada orang paksa aku. Nobody put a knife on my neck untuk aku to compete. Tapi kalau aku compete, takkan aku nak kasih anak aku korang semua semua duduk rumah pasal aku tak nak keluar. Tak boleh apa. Then aku tak nak jumpa mak aku tak nak jumpa in-law aku and everything. Everyone ada perasaan. Jangan just because of aku punya compete, it affect my relationship with my friends, with my families, with everyone around me. So then I have to adapt, which is actually dah adapt lah because dah compete 16 com kan, dah more than 10 years, so roughly I know here and there. So this is where I try to balance macam kau cakap. Now sekarang tengah family time and everything. Yes, pasal bila aku kerja dekat gym as a personal trainer. So I try to clock everything in the morning because morning this is where anak aku semua sekolah, wife aku pergi kerja, rumah tengah tak ada orang. Aku pagi buat PT, lepas PT aku buat fasted cardio aku. Lepas fasted cardio aku, lepas tu aku continue buat PT, then lepas tu nanti petang ada break So this is where aku train aku punya diri sendiri. Train diri sendiri. So usually after 4 days, 5 days nanti badan aku dah shake rabak ke apa ke, then this is where aku macam go recovery kat cold plunge ke, dekat go deep tissue massage ke. Yeah, for my recovery. Then by the time aku balik evening, kadang-kadang aku nak kena clock cardio again. So this is where, that's why aku beli
walk pad.
That time ada treadmill, tapi lepas tu aku change to bicycle. The reason why aku boleh je buat kat gym, tapi the reason why aku nak buat kat rumah, the reason why because me as a father I want to be present. Even aku tengah buat something, tengok TV tapi budak-budak kat katil, diorang tengah tengok bapak, janji bapak diorang ada kat situ, diorang macam as long my father kira macam be present. So that's what is my daily routine when I'm competing. Bila aku tengah compete lah. Then bila Saturday, Sunday, wife aku dah understand, okay, I need to go to gym. So pagi, aku bangun pagi. Budak-budak masih tengah tidur, wife aku masih tengah tidur because wife semua tengah weekends kan, tak kerja. Aku kalau nak buat something, aku tak nak affect dia bila tak nak affect anything kan. So biar aku bangun pagi. Aku bangun pagi, get my cardio and workout done. By the time aku sampai rumah, maybe pukul 11 lebih. Then makan, then penat. Bro, seriously penat bro. Shag bro. Tapi aku cakap, okay, kita keluar. Kita bawa budak-budak keluar. Dan bila kita bawa budak keluar, this is where aku switch kita punya activities. So macam, aku bawa orang kat East Coast Park. Then bawa domain basikal, aku clock steps ke
Yeah,
apa
yeah,
ke.
yeah,
Yeah, so we play around this lah.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's
Correct.
how my routine when aku tengah prep.
Nice.
Then bila tengah diet, aku kata dengan orang biar. Diorang nak makan apa, diorang makan. I will bring my own food, my Tupperware with me all the time.
Yep.
Which my helper will prepare for me. So alhamdulillah, I got a very supportive wife. Then aku ada helper. Then supportive both parents.
Yep.
My mum, because mama aku dah tengok aku compete dari dulu. So dia dah faham sangat. In-laws aku dah faham sangat. Kalau aku pergi rumah dorang akan sediakan makanan lauk untuk special, untuk khas untuk aku.
Yep.
And aku bilang dorang in advance, okay, aku boleh makan ni je. Yeah. Kalau kena in-laws lain yang tak faham, okay,
Yeah.
kena maki kot.
Yeah, correct,
Kau mana special je.
Correct.
So, aku dengar cakap engkau
So with this with everyone's support, alhamdulillah we make it as a team lah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's why aku cakap dengan wife aku, kalau kita menang, kita menang as one. Tapi kalau kita kalah, tak apa, kita cuba lagi.
I see. Okay. Kita orang there's a lot more yang kita orang nak tanya dengan kau. And aku rasa we'll bring this to the next episode.
Yes,
Tapi
correct.
macam mana pun korang jangan lupa, kalau korang nak ubah suai rumah,
Jangan ubah suai badan
macam
aja.
kau tengok Daniel Azman, dia ubah suai badan.
Betul.
Tapi kita ada orang yang boleh bantu korang ubah suai rumah korang. Jadi macam mana Zul?
Kalau kau nak ubah suai badan, cari Daniel. Nak ubah suai rumah, cari Altura Spaces. Farid, apa nombor dia Farid?
8714-5808.
Baru betul. Okay, dengan tu kita jumpa di next episode. Bye-bye.
Baik.